If the people around you don't understand what you're trying to do, if they don't support your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with what you're going after. It might mean that you just don't have the right people around you. So that's what we're going to talk about today. My name is Celeste, and on this channel, I help mid career Black professional women build a life of freedom through flexible work. So, if you want to know more about that, you can check out some of the other videos on my channel. But today, I'm going to talk about this concept of finding your people. Okay. So, I watched Dr. Sashin's video. Dr. Sashin is someone who's new to me. I'll explain that part in a minute. But I watched her video called You Should Be Running. And she talks about, she basically debunks the idea that if you're trying to do something new, like move to a new situation, new job, new city, new whatever, new country, that people will say to you like, oh, you're running away, right? You should stay and stick it out. You're just running away if you leave, a situation that's no longer serving you. And one thing that she mentioned, and I'm just looking at my notes if you see me glancing down, but one thing that she mentioned was that often the people around you are invested in you staying exactly where they are comfortable with you being, if that makes sense, right? So I want to read a quote that she, from something she said in the video. She says, I'm not running away from anything. I'm chasing possibilities. I love that. In order to live in the possible, you have to be willing to make yourself uncomfortable. And she says that makes a lot of other people uncomfortable who don't like to live in the possible, for whom security is the most important thing. And I was like, ooh, I know those people. Um, so I wanted to build on what she said as far as if you have those naysayers in your life, if you need some encouragement or support in pursuing something new, you might not get it from the people who are around you in your life. And if it makes sense if you think about it, right? Your friends and coworkers and peers are your friends and coworkers and peers because you all are doing the same thing, right? If you now want to pivot and do something different, like the whole reason you all are peers is because you are doing the same thing. So you shouldn't necessarily look to those people for support and encouragement and understanding if you're pivoting to something different, right? If they support you, great, but where else can we look if we know that we can't necessarily count on those people from our quote unquote old life to understand? And what I have to say to that is the people that you're looking for are online. You can find them online. And not only are they online, but they're people who have probably put themselves online. And I'll explain what I mean right now. So, for me, one thing that I knew that I've known for a long time was that waiting until 65 to retire was a scam. Um, I didn't understand a whole lot about the world, but that was one thing that I was like, that doesn't sound right, right? So, but I didn't have a model for like how to structure my finances in any kind of different way like, even though I knew it was a scam, I was like, okay, I know it's a scam. Now what? Like, I still don't know what to do about it, right? So I didn't really have a model for it until I came across the FIRE podcasters. So FIRE, the FIRE movement, that's financial independence, retire early. And there were all these people who shared the same belief that something was wrong with the system and the timeline, and they had figured out like a way to hack it and shortcut it. And they were talking about it on their blogs and on their podcasts. And through them talking about it, they all found each other, and formed, a community of, money nerds or whatever they call themselves. But yeah, so they found each other by talking about the thing that they were working on, and the thing that they were thinking about and trying to figure out. So I liked the concept of FIRE. Like, I got where they were coming from, but even still, I was like, I found it kind of late. And I still, to follow FIRE, I would still be required to build up this, multi-million dollar amount and like grind it out until I got there before I could retire. And I was like, oh, I don't think I want to do that, right? So then I found Stephanie Perry and Rashida Dow, on Instagram, actually. So I found them separately. I didn't find out until later that they were business partners and that they had this thing called Exodus Summit. But like, I found them both completely separately. But I found them on Instagram. With Stephanie, though, on Instagram, what I saw was a video clip of her from her YouTube channel, right? So that allowed me to kind of see what she was about, and get to know her, and kind of explore her philosophy further. With Rashida, I found an Instagram post that was just like a photo, but she had, a link to her site and all that. And so on her website, she had a bunch of YouTube videos that she had done. And so I got to really understand her philosophy on career breaks and sabbaticals and all of that kind of stuff. So it was their YouTube content that, I guess, made me, a fan, right? Because here were these Black women who were my age telling me I didn't have to wait until I had millions and millions of dollars before I could take a sabbatical. I could take one now. So a third story, or a third example that I want to share, is what I mentioned earlier about Dr. Sashim. I didn't know Dr. Sashim a week ago. What happened was she commented on my video, Why Aren't Older Black Women on YouTube? And in her comment, she was just like, hey, girl, I'm a Gen X YouTuber also. And so I went and checked out her stuff. And I have been watching her videos almost every day this week. She's amazing. So sometimes your people find you by you putting your stuff out there, or you putting yourself out there, right? So it doesn't have to always be you going to search for a community. Like, sometimes it can come to you. So, speaking of interacting, if you are still with me, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much. So now, what changed for me, because of finding these communities online? So with the FIRE community, like, it definitely turned my finances around. I know a lot more about how to manage money. I'm much more confident about it. I'm more confident about investing. Like, it just kind of opened up my opened up my world financially speaking, right? Like I had always been, let me put it this way, I had always been on defense and like afraid of money. And it taught me how to be on offense and not be afraid of the terminology, um, and to just kind of like take control. It kind of gave me the reins to be in control of my financial future. And from, I would say, other communities that I'm in, some of the benefits have been just feeling seen and feeling like, oh, I'm not crazy. Like there are other people who think the same thing or share the same, point of view. Um, it also has let me learn from people who are farther down the road or further down the road than I am. Possibility models, right? Um, Seeing people who have done some of the things that I'm trying to do and being able to be in community with those people, um, and ask questions and use them as a resource. Also, community, like online communities, are a great place to just test your ideas and get feedback, to get recommendations. And maybe one of the obvious benefits is meeting new people, right? And sometimes the online friendship or relationship can turn into a real life friendship, right? So, for instance, some of the people that I've met through Stephanie and Rashida's online community, I now know in real life. They're friends. I've traveled out of the country, with some of them. So, oh, and I found coaches and programs through those communities that have helped me move forward, towards some of the goals that I'm pursuing. And lastly, I think it can't be overstated how important it is to just have cheerleaders, just have people who get it and who will support you. Um, it's like people you don't have to explain a whole lot to because they already get it. You don't have to explain like why, right? You don't have to justify like why you want this thing or why you're going after it. You just say, this is the thing I'm going after. And they're like, oh, what can we do? Right? So that's a great feeling. So if you feel like you don't have anybody around you who gets what you're trying to build or what you're trying to do, I would say go and find your people online. I would also say make your first YouTube video about whatever you're trying to do, even if you haven't started yet, because you never know who might find you. Um, Question for you. If you've ever had a dream or goal, but you've kept it quiet because you didn't think that your circle would understand, leave a comment below and just say, I know that feeling. I know the feeling. All right. So, one more thing I want to leave you with. Um, I use contract jobs to take career breaks. And if that is something you are interested in, I have a checklist for you. I'll leave the link for that in the description. And you can also book a call with me if you want to dive deeper into using contract work to support your life. So, with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.